Hey guys, I'm sorry I look like crap. I haven't gone to bed, and it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, a lot of people don't know me to be serious or talk about serious stuff, but, I'd like to think that I'm actually a very insightful person. I just don't talk about it that much. Um, I actually want to talk about suicide and bullying. Um, I have a lot of friends who are bullied and they cut and that they tell me they consider suicide. Now, I get whenever they talk about it how they're depressed, that I can see why they would be upset, but I have this one friend who, this is recently, told me that she cut again and everything. And me and another friend, she told us both. We sat there, looked at her, and said, "What does that actually solve? How does that help?" And she said, "It makes the pain go away." And we're like, "Really? Because you're hurting right now, aren't you?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, and everything makes it stop." And I'm just like, it doesn't make it stop. It doesn't. It just, what it does is it makes you think it stops. And the rush of adrenaline is what makes you do it a lot more. That's why it's addicting. Maybe she's an adrenaline junkie. Maybe that's what people who cut are. Because it doesn't make the problems go away. All it does is put another scar on your body. And, for people who consider suicide, I have a friend who I know constantly considers suicide and has actually attempted it many times and just got lucky that it hasn't gone through. And people who do that, I say that, number one, this is mainly to teenagers. Number one, life isn't always going to be high school. This is just a small part of your life. And in the end, it does not matter, because what people say to you while you're a teenager doesn't matter whenever you're out there making money, paying bills, and trying to take care of your family. In all God's honesty, with the almost 15 years of my life, I've noticed that my parents paid more attention to us and meeting our needs than socializing with people. And the people that they normally did socialize with were family, not friends. There was one friend that my mom stayed in contact with, two friends that my mom stayed in contact for years. And I mean years. My dad has one that he still talks to this day. And it was on very much occasion. Seriously. So, if you feel like you're alone, number one, you're definitely not the first person to go through something like this. And if you can't find someone who has gone through the stuff that you've gone through, there are people who can sympathize. They can feel for you. They can comprehend what you're going through, and they can have emotions to where they really feel for you, and they can help you. Tell somebody. Seriously. If you don't, there's no reason on this earth that you cannot help yourself. If no one's going to help you, if you feel like you're alone in your own house, if you feel like your family hates you, Tell a teacher. They actually care. Tell your principal. Talk to somebody. If you're being abused, you are more than capable of calling the police. If you don't take action on your own, and it's because you say it's because you're scared, you're not scared that something bad's gonna happen. You're scared that something's actually gonna change. Like, if it's all you've known, you're scared that maybe somebody actually cares. You say that's what you want to hear, that somebody cares, but you're scared that somebody actually will, because all your life you felt like nobody does. And if somebody did, you don't know how to handle it. My friends know I care about them. I don't know who it is that targets them and bullies them, but I know that they, in the end, have a good time. With hanging out with their friends, they have a good time. I have a friend who was sexually abused for years until somebody found out about it and stopped it. I forgot who, but it was her dad's friend who sexually abused her and everything. And she says that she still has problems sleeping at night and everything. She's one of my friends who cuts the most and everything, and is constantly considering suicide. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I can't imagine my parents not caring about me, or sexually abusing me, or abusing me, mistreating me, not showing me love, because that's all they've ever done. And I really feel for, like, I don't know what you're going through, but whenever I hear that you don't get the love you deserve, I get emotional. Like, I do, because I can't imagine someone who is supposed to take care of you not caring. I misunderstood my boyfriend one time over the phone whenever he was telling me about his mother. And he lives with his grandparents, but he goes and visits his mother and father all the time. Like, they live in the same place. He just mainly lives with his grandparents. He does not like his mother, but he loves her. He can't stand her, but he loves her. She can't stand him, but she loves him. They don't necessarily get along in the same room, but they love each other. And she tells him that, and he tells her that. I don't really understand that relationship, but they actually do care about each other. Now, I was under the impression that she didn't give two shits about him and could care less if he were dead and everything. And whenever he told me that, I started crying. I did. And then I started going on about how I couldn't imagine my mother not caring about me. I can't imagine hating my mother. And for people who don't get that kind of love, don't consider taking your own life because of it. You don't have to deal with your family. You could call child services and have you taken away. Sure, you'd live in an orphanage, but maybe you'd get adopted. And if you didn't, whenever you're 18, disown your family and make your own family. Don't try to end your life because of all the bad things that have happened, because they don't follow you in life. Maybe in your school life, but bad things that have happened to you don't affect what kind of job you have. They don't affect how much you get to eat every day. They don't affect how much your family, yours, your actual family, does not affect how they treat you. There are over 6 billion people on this earth. Somebody cares about you. Don't sit there and tell me that nobody cares. I've got a friend, a very close friend, who's just like, I feel like nobody cares. And I'm just like, I'm sitting right here. And she's like, well, you care. And then another friend will pop up and be like, I care. The people that care about you, you're really close with. Imagine what would happen if you were gone. Like, seriously. The people who don't care about you obviously aren't close to you. Whenever I was in 3rd grade, and I swear, everybody goes through a point in their life where they've been bullied. In 3rd grade, I was bullied pretty bad. And I didn't do anything. I really didn't. I remember walking up to this one guy and saying hi, like I normally do whenever I try to make friends. Like, I'll randomly walk up, well, not necessarily. I won't pick someone out of a crowd and be like, hey. But if you're standing next to me, I will start a conversation with you. More than likely, if I don't already hate you. But I just walked to him and I was like, hi, and everything. And it started. Like, it just started. Next day, I look at it now, and I think the things that they said weren't even that mean. But at the time, it really got me down. And, I mean, we were 9. What they said wasn't really a big deal. But for a 9-year-old, it was. And what had happened is that they spread rumors about me or something. And my entire 3rd grade class, like everybody in 3rd grade, wouldn't talk to me. Like, that's what would happen. Like, it was like they told them I have AIDS, but in all of God's honesty, we didn't know what AIDS were. But seriously, I still have friends. I did. And I did feel like more people didn't care about me than the people who did. But I go back to my home life and I'm just like, I'm happy here. Why does school matter? But it did get to me. 3rd grade was so bad that the night before I had to go back to school in 4th grade, I just started crying my eyes out. I did. I sat there and I thought about it and I was just like, I don't want to go back to all those horrible things. Nobody ever beat me up or anything, but it really got to me. Words hurt. They do. Words hurt, but it shouldn't affect how you go on about your day. It shouldn't. Ever since 3rd grade, and I got pushed away from the in crowd, I hung out with the outcasts. I would hang out with the people who nobody wanted to talk to, and they were the best people I've ever met. They were. But I would also hang out with people who were in the in crowd, but would talk to me anyways. Like, there was one girl that I could think of, and her name was Madeline. I miss her to this day, but last time I saw her was in 4th grade. But she was just that good a friend. And whenever I got to middle school, like, I was always hanging out with the freaks. Like, I made it a point to not hang out with the in crowd, because I learned that the people who are in the in crowd are really judgmental, and just, well, not every single one of them, but the majority of them are just really judgmental, and I couldn't tolerate them. They weren't my standards for a friend. In 7th grade, I became more aware of bisexual people. And it turns out that the majority of the people I hung out with were bisexual. I found out all of this in 7th grade, sorry. And then I'm not gonna lie, every time somebody does come out to me, it's not that I'm upset about it, it's just that I have to process it. And normally after a week, I'm just like, okay, that's what they are. And now that I've said that the majority of my friends are bisexual, those are the people who, the majority of my friends, who are bullied and cut and everything. I have straight friends who do go through stuff too and cut and everything, but I don't. If you're not clear on this, I'm straight. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, like, seriously, suicide doesn't change anything in your life except the fact that you can't move forward. If that's what you want to, if you think you're stuck before you commit suicide, now you're really stuck. Even though, like as a metaphor, like, even though you're dead and everything, like, think about it, like I've thought about what it would be like if I were dead. Like, how it would affect the people I care about. I don't care about the people who don't care about me. The people I care about. If I just died, I've thought about how those people would react to my death. Now just sit there and think. If you died, the people who made fun of you would more than likely feel terrible, but also the people who do care about you, they would cry so much. And whenever you think about the hurt that they would feel, it makes you not want to die. Like, seriously. Like, I used to wonder what it'd be like if I died. And the first thought that comes to my mind would be, like, what my mother's reaction would be like. Let's say I died in my bed. My mother came to wake me up, and I didn't wake up. That's what always got me, and I would start crying. Like, that is what always got me. What my mother would do if I was dead. It would just make a bunch of other people's lives worse if you died. Like, if you think you're a burden now, imagine if you were dead. Someone would have to pay for your funeral, which costs so much money. Someone would have to pay for your casket and hope to God that they wanted you to have a decent one. And, so I just want you to stop and think, how many people actually care about you? I don't say, oh, nobody really cares about me. Even if you can count it on your fingers and toes, if that's the only amount of people you can count, I say it's enough for you to live. Because if you can really say they care about you, the odds are they care about you a lot. And I don't mean the people who you're acquainted with. Not the people who you're just like, well, I mean, I talk to them. The people who are literally attached to you. You have good times with. You spend nights at their house. People who you cut up with at school and after school. Those people who you literally consider your family, they care. And they care more than you probably think. And if you knew how much they cared, it would be enough for you not to want to die. Trust me. I'm one of those people who cares about someone and they don't know how much I care. Like my friend who is convinced that not enough people care about her for her to mean something. She means so much to me, and then I've known someone for 6 years, going on 7 years of my life, who means just as much as her. So, just my message is to just stop bullying and everything. Like, suicide, it's not funny. It's not. That's someone who isn't gonna wake up tomorrow. So yeah, I'm just saying that you should do your part into helping people. Because whether you believe it or not, if you stepped in on someone who's being bullied and like take their side, it does mean a lot to them. It really does. And like with Amanda Todd, she seriously needed somebody. If I had gone to the same school as her, I definitely would have been her friend. I'm friends with people who have done way more than Amanda Todd and are perfectly happy with their lives. So I'm saying I don't feel like Amanda Todd had a good reason to kill herself, but I'm saying she also knew the wrong people. She didn't have anyone around her to tell her that it was fine, like, it's not even that bad. She was convinced that it was so bad that nobody could like her because of it. Like, that's how people treated it, and it really wasn't. I'm seriously friends with people who do worse stuff than that on a daily basis and freaking love their lives. So, Amanda was just in the wrong environment. I don't blame her, but I'm saying that she should have waited to see what happened in life, because, like I said, high school's not forever. People grow up, and if they don't, that's their problem. Whenever you grow up, it's not yours anymore, because you're worrying about your own life. So yeah, I've gone on a really long rant, because this just is a sensitive topic to me. I hope this helped anybody who has thought about these things. I hope that this was some sort of counseling for you and helped you realize some things. I actually kind of want comments on this video, because I want to know if this helped anybody. I want to know if it didn't. I want to know your opinion. And I will continue to argue with my opinion until I convince you that it's not that bad no matter what you've gone through. Because you can always do something about it. So yeah.